Loneliness. What are some aspects of loneliness? Well, let's say this first. You can be lonely and be single. You can be lonely and be married. Okay, you can be fulfilled on both of those, both of those marital statuses too. You can be lonely in the middle of a crowd. You can be lonely with tons of people around. You know, so if you could be lonely with people around, what is loneliness? Loneliness stems from inside of you, from your core. Okay? Now we take on these human bodies and we take on human desires. But when you really boil it down to the nitty gritty, loneliness comes from the spirit. Everything is spirit. All is spirit. All is within. So, loneliness stems from within yourself. It has nothing to do with externals. It has everything to do with your internal life. Internal life. Okay. Maybe you are lonely because you're waiting for your divine counterpart. And sometimes you feel that as you're waiting. Maybe it's a deep longing, a deep loneliness. There's many reasons for loneliness. Think of your own reason, Dig in there and think of your own reason. And you have to think, too, that if this is an internal issue, okay, because all is spirit, if this is an internal issue, it goes to show you once again how indispensable the inner work is. You cannot get rid of the inner work. It is not indispensable. It is not a choice. Well, I guess anything's a choice, but if you want to get anywhere, if you want to heal, anything is a choice. I mean, it's necessary. It's necessary, sorry. My mind kind of went over here a little bit. So the inner work is indispensable. And the inner work is how you dig in there and you look it in the eye and you find out, why am I lonely? I think part of the reason why loneliness is there within a person is loneliness is a call to go deeper. Loneliness is a call to go deeper. And it is a call to reconnect to your original connection. And what is humanity's original connection? It's source. So loneliness is a longing and a call to reconnect to where our life force comes from, to have fellowship and deep communion with that. And it's also a call to get to know yourself. Say, well, what's so incredible about myself? See, that right there is a sign that you need to do the inner work for yourself. If you have to ask the question, well, what's so great about me that I need to know myself? Why would that give me fulfillment? Why would that cure loneliness? Why would that be a gigantic help toward that? Well, that's a sign that you need to do your own inner work, because only you can answer that question. Okay, no one can answer that question for you, and even if they did, you wouldn't believe them anyway, because you're not doing the inner work to find out for yourself. And see, that's another thing too. You wouldn't believe it anyway, because you don't see it, and you don't see it because you haven't done the inner work. Okay, you haven't done the inner journeying to look at all of that, so that's why the inner work is indispensable, because no one can teach you these things. You have to see things for yourself, and that is what the inner work is. Okay. Now, just because you know yourself, does that mean that you're not ever lonely ever again? No. Because there's a lot of different things that we need to be connected to, and a lot of it depends on you as a person, It depends on you as a person. It depends on what your contract is and where you incarnated from. What is your mission here? What is your purpose here on Earth? All right, the main connection is to be connected to Source, to have that within your being, to have your heart core ignited by Source fire. Okay, so that you shine like the sun from within yourself, to yourself and for yourself, and then it radiates to other people. But sometimes the anticipation of certain things can produce that, or can produce a state of being unsatisfied, a state of being lonely. And if it does, then that has to be looked at. Okay? Like waiting, like say if some of you are waiting for a divine counterpart. Okay, well, you are your divine counterpart. You're the same soul. You are your divine counterpart. Your divine counterpart isn't someone else, it's you. Okay, you just manifest in two different bodies when you come to this dimension. But your divine counterpart is you. So, to realize that first and foremost helps tremendously. Okay? But yes, we all know that some of us are going to meet our divine counterpart, and so that gets hard. So there's many different reasons why someone would be lonely, unsatisfied in life, or trying to look towards someone to better yourself, and you can't do that either. So no matter what the situation is, and no matter what the longing is, okay, the main thing is the interconnection. What are we connected to, and how are we drawing from that connection in light or in context of why you came to Earth? Because everyone came to Earth for different reasons, and you are geared toward that reason. You are geared and coded and made for that reason. So your need for this connection or this for the little specific connections might be different than me or someone else. But it all ties into the one main connection that we need to have, and that is a living, breathing, organic, lively, fiery connection to the source of our life force energy, where we all gain life from, and that is Source. And finding peace and finding comfort in that, it's embodying Source consciousness, okay? Letting the flows run through you, dwelling in its infinite love and protection, right? Being instruments of its grace, okay? Letting those flows go through you, co-creating together in harmony with that eternal spirit, the eternal Christ, eternal first creation, or source, God source, unutterable one. So anyway, and in connection with yourself, because they're all tied in together. Okay, so you have to connect back to yourself and realize who you are, and realize that you literally have everything that you need within yourself. Okay, so that's why I say right off the bat, I'm sure you can make a list, but the root of it is that loneliness is a call. It is a call, and it is a strong draw into the inner parts of yourself to do the inner work and heal, okay? Because wounds and blockages can also give you the illusion that you don't have everything that you need within you. That you're a piece of shit. Again, all the different lists that you can name. And all of those inversions, anything that you can think about yourself that might be kind of cutting or kind of downplaying yourself, they're all inversions. They're not true. So it's working past those things to really find who you actually are. And when you do that, and you have to work through it. It might go in stages. It's not just going to disappear. Okay, the different emotions and the different things that you feel are not going to disappear. And as you grow and all those things, now you're raising your frequencies, right? I have lost 99% of my family. I have lost 99% of my friends, okay? I know that some of that is just either growing apart or I've raised in my frequency, okay? I'm just leveling up, and it's very quick. You keep moving from level to level. You're receiving the upgrades and the downloads, things like that, and all of a sudden you're in a completely different spot than the person that's next to you. Okay, or even your own family. You then they don't understand what the hell you're talking about. Then your words, it just passes them up sometimes, or you're just you begin to live in a different reality, so that can draw people away, and you will lose friends and you will lose family members. It's just the way it is. Okay, but to stop those flows is insane. Okay, because stagnation is death, and you're either moving forward or you're sitting there rotting away or you're moving backwards. So, and resting isn't stopping. Resting is still moving forward. It's just processing everything that you learned from this time period to from this rest period to this rest period. Okay, it's merely processing, thinking about those things and allowing yourself to integrate with them. And sometimes watching a mindless movie does, helps with that process. You just put it aside for a little bit. But resting is still working in a sense. It's just allowing yourself to process. That's what resting is. But anyway. So if you feel like there are separations going on in your life, okay, then more than and you're doing the inner work, and you're working with the guardians and Kristen with the techniques and stuff, then you're upgrading and you're moving forward, and you're beginning to live in a different reality than the people around you, and even your words or your understanding versus their understanding, it's going to show, and there's going to be separations. Okay, the Chris timeline splitting from the Metatronic timeline is a separation. There are separations on all levels going on right now, on all levels. Okay, and a coming together of certain things on all levels too. So this is a rough time, guys. This is a rough time. You have to flow with it, be patient with it, and keep doing the inner work. And keep drawing wisdom from Source and the Guardians. Keep drawing those things, because the Guardians are here to help us along because on this mission, because we incarnated here. Or wakening up as angelic humanity to what the original Christ really is. And so the Guardians are here to aid in that, whether you are femme or angelic humanity. So we're all heading to one spot. We're all heading home, right? So, keep doing the inner work, and make your connection to Source stronger and stronger every day. Okay, because it's infinite. It's infinite. You can't. You're not going to top out. It's infinite. And then they give you more upgrades, okay? Activations and upgrades so that you can press on even further and stay ahead of the dark ones, okay? If you do that and work with those things, then you are steps ahead of what they are trying to do. And yes, there is a frequency that is untouchable, but that causes separation. That causes separation because that's why the dark ones can't touch Source. That's why when you hit a certain frequency, you're not going to be touched. You're not going to be fucked with as much because you're living on a much deeper and higher frequency than what they can stand. Okay? And it's the same way when you relate to other human beings. We're all spirits here. You got to keep that in mind. Everybody looks at the body, and that's what a human... Well, okay, no, we are all spirits here that took on human bodies. This is a spiritual place, guys. You're dealing with spirits. When you shake someone's hand, you're shaking the body. You're shaking the hand of an embodied spirit. Okay. When you reach certain frequencies, spirits of all people react in different ways. It could be hostile. It could be, oh, I don't want to be, no, stay away from me. I don't want to be your friend. You're cool and everything, but we can't be friends. Or they're drawn to you. They're drawn to you, or they love you. You draw your people to you, you know? And keep working, okay? Keep doing the inner work, and because if you have a divine counterpart, when you grow, they grow, because you're the same being. You pull them along, and they pull you along, and they help you as you help them, and so on and so forth, because you're one being. Be patient with all that. Trust divine timing. It's all flowing, and that's hard. That's harder to do. It's easier to say than do sometimes. Okay, but we have to do it. It has to be our lifestyle. It has to be something that we strive for and examine and try to deepen these connections. And there's joy in the journey, guys. It's not a drudgery. It's a learning experience. And the more you learn, the more wisdom that you get. And then you can help other people. You can, that wisdom deepens within yourself because you're helping yourself. Okay? So if you're lonely, it's not necessarily a negative thing, okay? It is a positive thing because it is a call and a drawing to go deeper and deeper and deeper into that connection. And you might also be holding space. You know, you might be eliminating a lot of things within your life. And Source might be energetically helping you eliminate, preparing the way, okay, by clearing out a lot of shit in your life in order to make room, to hold space, to make space for what is coming for you. And that can produce a sense of loneliness, a sense that something isn't there, a sense that you long for something. All of that can produce loneliness, okay, or a sense of, but you have to realize what that is, okay, and then move forward. Because I've seen a couple things, you know, on Facebook that kind of mentions this subject, and so I figured, well, and we're all prone to it. Every one of us are prone to it, so. You know, might as well make a video on it, right? So you might be holding space. You know, you might be getting away, getting rid of, casting away from yourself things that are not you in reality. Okay, I'm not sure if it's you're casting away things that don't serve you anymore necessarily. Maybe it is that. Maybe I guess it is. But I guess in my mind, I like to word it as it doesn't represent your true self, and it never did. It never did anyway, okay? But it's a journey, and it's a leveling up, and it's a moving forward, and it's a moving up, per se. And if you want to ascend, you must descend first. You have to go within yourself, go deep within yourself, do the inner work, and work with the NAMI waves that come through because they are upgrades. Okay, they activate parts of us that maybe weren't activated before. They push us along, so on and so forth. You know, work with all the tools that the guardians have given to us. Work with those things like crazy. Okay, this has to be a passion of yours. This has to be a passion of yours to move forward. Okay. So stay on fire, guys. And if you feel like your fire is going out, just fan the flame. Don't be discouraged, man. Don't be discouraged over any of that stuff. Just look forward. Look ahead. Look forward to where you're going. Okay, all right, learn from where you've been. Okay, it's where you've been. Look forward, look back. Okay, fine. Take those lessons. But don't hold on to the past. Let it go. It's already done. Okay, so, put your energy on moving forward. Put your energy on anchoring the new reality, which is fading in our reality right now before the split. Okay, for those who are preparing for it. Just keep anchoring things, keep working with things, keep pressing on. And mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. All right? That's what it will be. So any feeling that's negative, it might be called negative, but is it? Just work with it and see what it's trying to teach you. It's all the quote-unquote negative feelings and emotions that you might go through. Okay, and I'll have to do a video on that too. Another video on that. But all those things that you're feeling and experiencing really aren't you, but they are trying to teach you something. And what they're trying to teach you is something positive. See, positive things come out of negative things sometimes. Okay, not toxicity, but with something where icky feeling or icky emotion or whatever. It's trying to teach you something. Be the observer. Don't put your identification on that, on your thoughts and emotions. Just be the observer of them and learn from them and take those lessons and propel yourself forward. Okay? Hell yeah. So stay on fire, guys, and I will talk to you later.